Right, yes, we are live. We are live in the
lost connection with
community with Comonetize session. And yes, that may happen, but if anyone drops, believe me, they will come back. So I will just go ahead and make the introductions, and then you can take it away. So we have with us Gali Meiri, the founder of Comonetize. Orly Carmon, who just dropped for a moment, but she is the founder and CEO of Orca Global Leadership and Networking. And in fact, it's a very small world. She and I just had a chat on WhatsApp the other day. By chance, we didn't know the session. Ashkovitz Ohayon, co-founder and Community Forward and Nadlanista, and Heather Anderson, founder of Mamahood and the Club. So, Gali, you will be leading the panel. Have a wonderful time. I am backstage if you need me. Take it away.
Okay. So, let's start. Ari, you are still stuck there? Okay. Okay, let's wait for Orly to come back. And so I'll start with introducing myself. I am Gali from Comonetize. I launched a website for my community in 2006. It was before there was Facebook, and I thought that a website for the community of production workers, hi Orly, community of production workers and production companies would be a good solution, because I was using the dating services, and the dating services always matched people together, and I did this for the production people, and then I launched the site. It was 2006, and it's been my main and stable income channel ever since. Hi Jeremy, that's my friend there. But I didn't start monetizing right away. So we'll all speak about our journeys in monetizing our communities. And so, hi guys, it's really nice for everybody to to say hi. And it's nice to know that we have an audience. It's very, very weird to be in an online convention. So I'll just say another 2 words. After this experience that I had with my community, I launched a startup that enables every community leader to start a website with a directory and a board for their community, with a lot of monetization opportunities that are very flexible. And Chen is one of the users. And that's it. So, Chen, can you please tell us a little bit about your community and how you start communities and how you start them?
Hi, thank you, Gali, for inviting me, and of course, Mike and all the amazing crew. So I'm a co-founder of Nadlanista, and also of Community Forward, the Israeli organization for community managers. I also work with Facebook on Community Manager here in Israel, but in this panel, I only speak about Women Speak Real Estate.
Hi.
Oh,
we are losing connections. Wait. You're back.
I'm back?
You're back.
So Women Speak Real Estate, which my partner is Lynn Steiner Ajami, was established a few years ago in order to empower women in the real estate Israeli field. We have 15,500 ladies in our Facebook group, and more 1,000 in different channels, newsletter, Instagram, etc. What else do you want me to say now?
Why did you start it? What was the motivation to?
I used to be a lawyer in one of the top real estate law firms in Israel, Fisher Bachar Chen, and for almost 4 years, I never represent a lady as an CEO or entrepreneurship. After a while, it's make you wonder, like I was almost all the time the only lady in the room. And Lynn, my partner, basically did a really complicated purchase of her own place apartment. And while she did it, she realized that women are avoiding dealing with real estate issues in their personal life, even like basic things as rentals and stuff like that. So she came up with the idea and even with the name. And Ruth and Maria, friends of mine, posted online, and I was like, real estate communities, it's probably a place I should be. And after I fall in love with Lynn, we became partner at Women Speak Real Estate, and since then we're trying to help women in Israel in terms of education and opportunities in the real estate field in Israel and abroad as well.
Amazing. Heather, can you tell us a little bit about the Mamahood and the club?
Yeah, thank you. And I love that. I used to work in real estate and I used to run money clubs with women. I love everything you just said. So mine are very different. I run two communities and they're interconnected, but they started at different times. So in 2010, Facebook groups were pretty new, and I basically had a baby and didn't know anybody with a baby, and I did not intend to start a business. I just wanted to find anybody with a baby near me. So I met a couple women at a breastfeeding support group, and I asked them if they would be in a Facebook group with me, just like 7 of us, because I didn't want to text them at 3 a.m. on their regular phone. And then I started just adding everybody I knew that ever had a baby, and there was about 80 within a week. And from there, it just grew and grew and grew and grew. That was 10 years ago, so that baby is 10 now. But I wasn't trying to make it a business. I actually was I'm a songwriter, and I had a community I was trying to kickstart out of a live-work recording studio co-working space nearby. And I remember I went to a business workshop and a coach said, why are you struggling to gather a bunch of musicians together when you have 3 little babies and this moms group growing and growing? And it was really because I didn't want to have a business around being a mom, because that just didn't fire me up, which sounds bad, maybe, I don't know. But I eventually embrace the fact that I am a mom, and what does excite me is being an entrepreneur. And so eventually I launched the club, which is now our sister organization of women entrepreneurs, and most of them are moms, but they don't have to be. And that's my origin story, and those are the 2 communities, and they're both mainly in the Bay Area.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Heather. Oli, can you tell us about Orca?
So my way to establish the community was me coming to a new country. And before I came to Canada 11 years ago, I was a lawyer, I was earning a lot of money, and I had my position. And then I'm coming to a new country, and I have to find myself. And I started to organize small things for the community, volunteering and doing stuff. And then the UGA noticed everything that I'm doing, and they tell me, we are sending you to a leadership program in London. So I went there. That was more than 6 years ago. And over there, I saw a few things that people are doing around the world, leaders around the world. And I came back to Toronto, and I've decided that I'm going to do 3 things for the community. The first thing that grew into Orca was a women conference. The second thing that became my business international forum was I first established a business club in Toronto, and I also organized some weekends for families to talk about Judaism and talk about being an Israeli outside of Israel. After on the 3rd year, this conference became an international conference, and that was my first international conference exactly today, 4 years ago. And that was the time when I established my community around the world, because before that I was a leader in my own community. And after I saw what's happening to 80 women who came from all around the world gathering together, I decided, okay, I want to make something bigger, and I want to make it, and we're going to talk about it later, I want to do it in a way that exactly the same as I'm looking at a business, and I did business plan, and I did exactly, from the first day I opened my community, I did everything.
I think that you can now tell us about this, because it's a very, just continue to the next question of how come you just did it as a business?
So because I'm coming from that world, it was very natural to me to look at it as a, like, as if you open a business, you write a business plan. So I wrote a business plan. It's not like, and I do so many things for the community, volunteering, but this thing I understood that if I want to do it right, if I want to do it globally the way I want to do it, and I want to connect, and my Orca, what's unique in Orca, because there is lots of Israeli groups around the world, what's unique in my community is that I'm taking very strong women, either they're CEO, CFO, women who are looking to talk to each other, to connect to each other, to have fun. They're all Israeli. And what I'm doing in that community, it's not just the conversation that we have, it's also all the offline and online activity. So we have been twice in Morocco, once in Costa Rica. I did one conference with Tony Robbins 2 years ago in New York. And I did things in Miami and Los Angeles, and everything to connect women, because from my experience, if you really want to connect people, now we are doing all these Zoom things, but people have to hug each other. People have to have lunches and dinner. And when they're going to around the world for 10 days, the relationship and the connections are amazing. So as a business, I'm, it's like they pay me. I organize everything and they pay me. Mm-hmm. And I have a business forum, international for women, and they're doing business together, and they also pay me for a membership, and I'm also getting a cut for every deal that they're doing together. So it's two-part. And now,
can I ask how do you follow it? I mean, if they're doing the deals between each other, is it kind of a trust thing?
Trust issue. Okay, so I want to tell something about the community, and I want to tell something about the business forum. To get into the community, more than 45% of the women who are applying to the community are not getting it. More than. We are going into, they have to answer questions. We are going into the Facebook. We see what they posting, because it's a very closed club. I mean, we don't look into the size of it. We look on the quality. We don't care about quantity. We care more about the quality. So that's one thing. And the business forum, it's application. I know which women are going in. And it's a challenge to tell to a woman who is willing to pay you a lot of money to get into the business group, to tell her, I'm sorry, but I don't think you are, it's not the right fit for us, for you and for us. And but I have to do it because it's more important to me that it will be very specified, like every woman who are coming into the group can contribute to the other women and can get it the best. So
they actually pay, I would say, even for a kind of a prestige or to be part of a unique closed club. It's like, I don't want to be part of the club that accepts me, kind of.
Exactly.
No one wants to be in the club that everyone accepted in.
Exactly.
Yeah. Wow, amazing. Chen, can you tell us a little bit about your journey to make the Nadlanista into a business? And
okay,
what were the channels?
Real estate, it's always a business. But if to be honest, I think in the beginning, we weren't on the business side at all. We didn't think about it. We had our mission. But before I was with Lynn at Nadlanista, I used to work at the IDC Alumni Association. And then I have like lots of great and huge dreams and I need to sponsor them because I had no budget to do them. So I basically learn how to sponsor every dream I have. So that was my part of bringing inside the business in Indonesia. And Lynn, which is a tremendous entrepreneurship, both in real estate and communities, bought our sides in crazy negotiations. So we started. It was very, very simple at the beginning. We just took money on different events, and we did like a small real estate academy for the community, and it was like that. But all of a sudden, we realized we have lots of ladies in our community who are willing also to pay about good things, also wants to buy things in the real estate field. For example, they would like to purchase things even abroad, apartments and so on. So we start like collaborating, partnerships with different companies. For example, we did in Poland some collaboration. We did an event, and all of a sudden 30 or 40 ladies from our community bought an apartment in Poland. So we realized it's becoming bigger than just events. So we continue with it. And lately we haven't opened our website at Comonetize. We have lots of entrepreneurship, lawyers, architectural, whatever, the real estate field. So they want us to give them job opportunities. So we start that, and all of a sudden they start paying the premium. So it's working. But if to be honest, between while we started till today, we sat down and made a business plan, because community, it's like a startup. You need the marketing, you need the content, you have customers. It's exactly like a new startup, and you need to invest everything. Esther told me before that she tried everything, so Lynn and I tried everything. All the time we're willing to learn from everyone. So I guess some of them here are watching us, but I consult with everyone who is willing to speak about money and monetization, and I learned a lot and I read a lot. So that's basically.
You know that before we go on to Heather, the last article that I did in Medium was about who is the community entrepreneur, because to be a community manager or community leader, you can't do it, for a long time. And if you have the set of mind of an entrepreneur and you see that your community is a really devoted and trusting target audience, it's something that no normal entrepreneur has. The standard entrepreneur, they have to pay so much money for each new user that trusts you, and the community entrepreneurs, they start off with such a huge audience that is trusting them. That's the real difference between the community entrepreneur and the rest of them. So Heather, tell us a little bit about Mamahood growing and the club starting.
Yeah, thank you. And that was a good segue, because I did try everything. So the Mamahood was my only group at the time that I first started to monetize it. My husband was the main breadwinner at the time, and then he got laid off, and I had just gotten out of the hospital. So we thought, how about you be the parent and I'll start a business from the bed, since I can use my laptop. And so that's when we traded roles. We've traded a lot of times, but that was the last time. And since then, I started with all the kind of normal things when you have a large Facebook group. With affiliate marketing was my first try. So I started to round up products that I really loved. I wanted to be extremely picky, because I am extremely picky. So I would select the companies and then go approach them. I typically said no to every company that came my way, because I just didn't like the ones that reached out. So all of my outreach was me going after them. And it was pretty easy, actually. Everybody said yes. So I encourage people, if you want to try that, it's easy, but it's not. And so I'll touch that. So everybody that I approached would say yes. But then it's not that much money. So I would go after an awesome company. They might give me like a pair of awesome shoes for myself and then pay me 25%. But by the time you write the copy and you share about the shoes and you put them on and you take a photo and whatever, you've basically spent like a week talking to the company. You know, you made a BFF out of the CEO. I would always like get along with the CEOs. We'd chat for hours. They'd mail me a pair of shoes. I love the shoes. But each relationship would be like 2 weeks. I get the shoes or whatever. That's just one example. But I tried out all kinds of products and services too. And then all that relationship building, all the copywriting, a couple pictures, and like you'd probably sell maybe like a good result would be 5 shoes, which 25% of 5 shoes. Just imagine I just spent like a month meeting the guy that runs the shoe company. So I made a lot of good friends. I made a lot of connections. I got a lot of skill in negotiating and affiliate marketing. But I was trying to support a family of 5 in the Bay Area of San Francisco. So it was just ridiculous. And on that note, I love talking about money and I'm very transparent. So I could not have done this immediately the way I jumped into it if I didn't have massive savings and also a really big risk-taking personality. So a smart thing to do would be to slowly monetize your community while you have a day job. But I just burned through hundreds of thousands of dollars of savings to live normally while I operated on zero income and experimented. That's probably not smart. So I did affiliate marketing for about a year, and some of my partnerships were pretty lucrative. Like in 1 month, I made $8,000 trying to get new users for an app. But that was a very rare, like unusual situation. But that gave me the courage to try other stuff because I was finally surviving. And that was when I launched the sister community. And it was kind of because I realized that it was too onesie-twosie to work with all these companies for like $100 here, $1,000 there. And so I did 2 things. I built a platform so that I could recommend everything at once on a platform. So it's like a fancy business directory. And that's what I did right before I met Gali, because that's why I had just invested like thousands and thousands to build it myself. And she's like, oh, I could just use my software. So we have this fancy custom built business directory basically, but that was my platform for my free community, the Mamahood. I kept that community free. And that's why I don't know if I can say her name right. Shen?
Chen.
Shen.
You're busy.
She's tried everything because I have. So, and I still do. I have like 11 income streams. So I'm going to rattle them off. The Mamahood is 32,000 moms, and that membership is free, but I throw a lot of stuff at them. So different companies and brands will pay me to bring stuff to them. And my recommendation to anyone doing that is stay picky and stay on brand for yourself, because if you ever recommend something crappy, you've killed your reputation. So I'm always extremely picky. I will only recommend stuff that's awesome. And also, sometimes the awesome stuff won't pay me, and I do it anyway because you want to keep good content going. So you might recommend 15 things and 5 paid you nothing and there's no affiliate, and 10 did, but it's better to keep awesome recommendations that build trust and make your community excited. So affiliate marketing. Also sell them anything else that they want or need, like random. My community is moms and they get to know me. I'm in the group all the time. It's like a lot of them just feel like friends, even though I've never seen them in real life. And I have to say this quietly. It's a secret.
We're online,
From the people in the other room. So I just wrote a book. And it's a personal book. It's like a diary memoir. And I just started selling that to them. And that's been incredibly fun and nothing I would have planned. It was like I told them what I was working on, and a lot of them said, tell me, I want to buy it. Yeah. So you never know what your community will want, but you have this community. So throw spaghetti at the wall, because I didn't think I'd be selling them my memoir. But it's been fun and they like it. And that's actually becoming one of my best income streams. And then the subscription membership. So there's like a higher tier, but it's specifically for all the moms who are also entrepreneurs, and that's called the club. And that was my huge pivot. That was like the final spaghetti that got me to a business model that I could sustain. And Orly, it totally sounds similar to you. We should chat after. Because I basically wanted to just bring community, resources, connection, and fun back into the lives of women entrepreneurs. I saw how stressed out and isolated everybody was. So pre-COVID, we had parties, adventures, retreats, field trips, like we were going to Tony Robbins, like everything you said, Orly.
Wow.
We got canceled because we were going to the inaugural event for women by Tony Robbins that got canceled for COVID in March. So that is a subscription membership. People pay to be in that. And so I can see it from both angles. There's a way to have a free community, sell stuff to them, interact with them, bring them deals, discounts, whatever you do, broker things to them. And then you can also have a paid membership where basically they're paying me to be in the club. It's just like Orly's. They want to be surrounded by cool women doing awesome things. And then they bring the value to each other. Yeah. I do also curate experts to them, and the experts bring them club exclusive discounts, and I'm an affiliate for the experts as well. So that's all my things.
Amazing.
Wow.
I was to be one of the experts once.
Yes, you will be. COVID.
I know.
How many women are they in the group now?
The moms group has 32,000 and the club has 800.
Nice.
In the Valley, I was referred by one of the entrepreneurs that is part of the club, because it's it's a very famous thing there. So the thing that I wanted to ask, and I will ask Orly, did you find, and I think the answer will be no, but did you find any kind of rejection from the community members that when you started monetizing, or when you started saying, okay, this is a closed club, you have to pay or you won't be part of it?
Okay, so I will, it's very important to me to explain that our community is based on values. So through the whole process, it was very important to me to put the spotlight on the values of the group. And when they know that everything that I'm doing is keeping with that values, it's like, let's say if somebody will come to me and say, let's have some collaboration or something. The first thing that I will ask to you, will that benefit the group? Will that benefit the same value that I'm talking about? And I'm going to give an example. One of the things that I'm doing now, and by the way, I have like in an hour starting a meeting about it. It's Orca Academy. Orca Academy means that we are selling to the people from the group special courses, but it have to be top of the line, like, you know, and I'm not compromising, something like that, but it's like from the Israeli community, it's Ronen Gafni and Dr. Liraz Margalit, people that everybody knows that very, so when they know that I'm not compromising, so I like to make money and I'm used to it, but it's not coming, and I think my community knows it. My community understand that, listen, I am working in my group 24/7, as all of you. It's not like something that I'm doing out of hobby, and this is something that I'm trying to understand to people who wants to make money out of the Facebook group. The first thing that I'm asking them, what motivates them? Because if the only thing that motivates them is money, I don't think they will succeed. I don't think so. And all of you talked about values. I think if they're coming from a point of view that they want to bring something to the world and they know their own value and they don't compromise, sometimes they're going to lose money on the short run, but for the long run, they're going to earn much more. And that's what my community knows. Now, you ask me, Gali, if I don't see any rejection. I have to explain to you one time, I wrote to one of the women who was, I have very specific rules, what you can post, what you cannot post, how you can post things. And she broke few rules, and I wrote her, listen, this is not, it's not in our rules. And by the way, we also have a business forum, so you have to, and we were having discussion just by writing. And she didn't understand that. She said, no, I don't understand. Why does it mean? Why this and this? And then she say, you know what? It's not for me. I'm not into, and she's a lawyer and I'm a lawyer. So it's very important to understand, because, as a lawyer, you have certain codes toward another lawyer, right? So she broke all the rules. She left the community and she went into my Facebook page, my business Facebook page. And she wrote that the only thing that motivates me is money. Now, when I saw it, I was like devastated for I don't know, maybe an hour or two. And then I looked at myself in the mirror and I said, I know what I'm doing. I am true to my values, and it's everything open. It's not like, I'm doing something in the midst. Everything is open. And if she, and I, when I wrote to her, I said, let's talk about it over the phone before she wrote the comment. Like, because I like to talk to people, I like to feel people. I believe that when people talk to each other, everything can be solved. But, in the beginning, when I told that to another lawyer, you say, so just go back to her Facebook group page and say something about it. I said, no, I'm not into that. I mean, people knows me. So if out of 20 comments, one of them is bad, people knows me. It's just like when you see things. So yes, Gali, some people feel like, wow, you're going to make money. Listen, it's part, but we are also doing lots of very good things in our community. And I'm very proud to say that we just raised more than $3,000 for a home shelter for kids. Just this week, like yesterday, it was finished.
Amazing.
So, we are doing lots of also amazing stuff. And, each person will take it from his own way, because, as you all know, we don't see the world as it is. We see the world as we are. So it's also in all these group things.
I also think that maybe because your audience are people that are more of a business women, and they know about money and they know how to handle, because I can say about my community in 2009, when I started taking subscription and the internet everything was free, and how dare you charge money for something on the internet that was like worse than Hitler, and today people are used to paying things. It's more relaxed, but when I started it was very, very difficult, and some of them rejected, but the rest paid. So I say, okay, I had to really swallow it. And sometimes it caused me to cry, and people told me really hard stuff, but what can you do? And I think that when I work with many community leaders and they are really afraid to monetize their group, what will they think about me? They will leave, they will go to another group. And then I say to them, so maybe you're just not giving enough value as is, if they can leave you because you will start to take money. So I think that it's really important. And Chen, what did your Nadlanista? I think, and I also want to say that there is a difference when you monetize, but you are not monetizing by charging subscription money or selling them things, but you do affiliate, and then they don't really care. Okay, but when they have to pay for things, then it becomes a bit more complicated.
Sure.
So can you tell us?
Agree. So basically, every time we're working with our community in Nadlanista, we keep the magic triangle, which means that also the community will have benefits if it's the greatest prize, something unique, something they receive before other people, pre-sale, like friends and family, if it's real estate selling or whatever. Second, of course, Lynn and I would like to have something about our working hours, about using our data and personal monitoring, whatever. And of course, the brand or the company we're working on, we need 3 wins Otherwise, it's not gonna work. So basically, because we all the time are keeping, as exactly as Tair has already said, our values, and we are bringing things to the community only when we use them by ourselves, only if we would like to buy them, only if we would like to invest there, only if we really think it's a good thing. We're working only with brands and companies who are sharing the same values that we are sharing. For example, women entrepreneurship in the real estate. We will never work with the company with no ladies at all in real estate, for example, and of course other other values as well. And while keeping it, it makes us more easy to communitize our communities. The subscription in Comonetize, it's not for the entire community. It's also only for businesswomen in the field. It helps. So if a lady wants to enter our community, she gets free knowledge and experience real estate entrepreneurship, answering her, consulting with her, and that's all for free. So only the business opportunities are subscribed.
Okay, I think it's maybe time to open it for questions from the audience. If somebody wants to ask something, you can raise your hand, but I don't know where I can see it. Nobody raises the hand, so we can just go on and chat.
Maybe we answer all the questions they had.
Yeah, maybe. Raise your hand.
Ari.
I can
raise your hand. Ari will see it. Yeah, he's back. He
will do it. Yeah, because I think also that it's very cultural. It's a cultural thing, because I think in the United States or the Bay Area is more. I see so many subscription clubs, and I follow Stu McLaren, and I see like tons of people that are doing this. And in Israel, it's not very common. I mean, the being a part of a subscription club, it's something that is kind of new, and not everybody is reacting very well to it. So,
listen, I think, as I said before, it's the way you look at money. Because if you look at money and you believe that money is energy, then you will understand that if you want to bring good, like let's say now I'm opening in January, I'm opening a new club for meetings. So it's going to be twice a month. They're going to meet women from all around the world. It's not just for business. It's just like, like a friendly chat. And it's going to be also, it's a half an hour just meeting each other, and then 1 hour a lecture. Now in the Corona time, it's so many lectures for free. And everything but you understand, if you want to get a real good quality and you want to be part of a club, a small club, you have to pay for it. I just did a festival of lectures, and we took something, but we took money for it because we worked for it like for a month. So some people will open their eyes like, how come? I mean, there are so many. We gave 18 lectures. So, now everything become free and everything become. So I think that if you're talking about communities, some of the things that we have to think as leaders is not to give so much free, because when you get so much for free, people, when you ask them, or where other communities ask them to pay for something that people work for it. I mean, for me, it's obvious if somebody is working, he needs to get paid. Like, it makes sense, right? Somebody is working for it, he should get paid. So
it's my workshop for tomorrow, because you're just telling it. I have it on a slide.
Really? Amazing.
I think we have a question.
Yeah. Yael is asking, which system or program do you use to monitor the success? So Gali have a really amazing one.
I launched Comonetize, which is something that enables everybody to do it, but I know that each one is using something different. Heather has her own custom website. So yeah, it's good if each one of us can tell you about this. And for my own community that was before Comonetize, and it's totally different structure of database. It's a custom. Yeah. And another thing, it's really hard work. It's really hard work to do it. I mean, the community is totally a business, because I have some community members and they go like, yeah, but I have my day job and I have it until 7 o'clock, so I can work on the Comonetize that I opened 2 hours a week. And how come it's not making me a huge profit? So, I mean, yeah.
I wanted to say something about what Orly was talking about kind of people getting spoiled by free content. I see that a lot with, I know there are a ton of subscription clubs in the US, but when you're in a Facebook group, especially mom groups on Facebook, there are so many thousands of moms groups on Facebook. Just even in my own Bay Area, there are hundreds, but across the country, there are thousands, and they're mostly free. Like I'd say 99, I can't even actually name a single one that's paid. So I haven't found one. So let's just say they're all free. To your point, Gali, and your question about rejection, I just wanted to chime in. Yes, I've been rejected like a million times. I've even been like basically tarred and feathered. During COVID, I decided to ask the free community if they wanted to maybe pitch in and have a $2 a month membership, and I had so many people like tell me off with swear words that I took the thread down. Like I was like, never mind. Oh my God. You know, of course, some people said, yeah, that sounds great, Heather. You're amazing. And this community changed my life. But then there was so many angry people because their comments were all about, how dare you charge us? This is a community service. They're always saying it's a community service. It's funny. I'm like, what? Why? Who signed me up for doing a free?
You're a felon.
So I've been angrily told, like maybe 500 times, you're doing a community service. Community service. How dare you charge us for it? And I'll just go find another one. Now, not to toot my own horn, but just because we're in a closed audience of people trying to do this, I just want to be super straight up. I built mine like a business model once I made that decision. And I looked at my Facebook group not as a free membership, but I wanted to be competitive to all the paid moms groups, because I didn't know where I was going to go. So I was trying to be competitive just in case I did decide to charge. And in the Bay Area, there are tons of paid moms groups, and they're all about the same price, $65 a year, that you can have a little mom club. Usually they're about 200 to 600 people. And I looked at all of them, and they typically have like negotiated a few discounts with local businesses and 3 meetups a year. So I crushed that. I did 52 events last year, 800 discounts with local businesses, and I charged nothing. So it's like I'm crushing the $65 clubs, but because it's free, and that's what I'm warning people, is it's all about perception, what they think they're joining. And because I did it in Facebook, they're spoiled by free Facebook groups, and they can't understand that it's a mom's club or that there's value because they didn't pay to get in.
Wow. That's we have two questions from Jeremy from London, my friend from London. Forgive me if any of you talked about this already, but have any of you raised capital or had investment to launch any of the communities or that you have launched and managed? And did you start a business model? What are the important keys to include inside?
I'm still searching.
I can answer about got investment to no. So
no, but it's something we are thinking all the time about who might and how. Lynn in our other community did it, so it's all the time on the table, and we're thinking how to do it and when, and if so, why. For now, we didn't do it. About the business model, as I mentioned before, we start different things. We just we weren't afraid to fail. So we start something, we saw it didn't work, or it worked very well, and we continued, and we did several things all the time until our current business model, who of course got changed thanks to COVID. We were supposed to fly around the world and show real estate to the ladies in our communities in German and Poland, and even, I don't remember where, but there was a third place, and of course everything canceled. So we changed it, and we start working with real estate companies in aspects of communities and marketing, for example, to build their communities and help them in all kinds of marketing issues. So we totally changed our business model during COVID.
Why are you here, Ari?
I think I answered that in the chat, didn't I?
5 minutes.
No. I was referring to the previous answer. Yeah. All right. Yes, it's time. And thank you so much for.
So wait, let me do it. Wait.
Close.
I'm doing an upsell tomorrow. There is an amazing workshop at 8:00 Israel time, which is 10 in the morning in the Bay Area, and it is 6 in the Greenwich Mean Time. So please join and listen to me. And thank you. And what do you think?
Please join. And I just wanted to echo also briefly, without discussing, but yes, the issue of people perceiving something as a community service, a social service. And for example, I run a men's group of it's actually unique in the support that it provides, emotional support and other things, 6,000 members. There's absolutely zero monetization or intent for monetization, but it's very difficult to run a group. And there's a question where it's truly a support service, but then it has to run, let alone make money. So it's a real issue. Thank you for...
even social services, they have funds. Nobody is working for free.
That's true. All right, I'm going to end the session now. The next sessions up are building an open source community, and Cyprus, a clean tech hub for the region, and also building startup communities. We have 3 parallel sessions this evening. So for our audience, please feel free to join those sessions or go to the lounge and sit at the tables. And you can also hang around, and maybe people want to take questions at the tables. Thank you so much. By the way, when I close the session, we'll land up backstage so you can chit-chat, hug, and say goodbye. So thank you all.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.